Sometimes I put my entire goddamn foot in my mouth. So an apology is in order to those in the chat tonight, waiting for the chat to refresh. I don't know what's going on. Every now and then I'll log into YouTube and DLP agenda, by the way, followed, but not followed enough. So if you're in the chat tonight, thank you. If you comment on the videos, double thank you. If you like them, triple thank you. That helps get the algorithm out there, let everybody knows that we're doing the damn thing. Yeah, I got to apologize to a friend of the program. I got a little fucking lippy this week, and it's 100% your fault, Joe.
I'm always in to blame Joe.
By the way, I know what he's going to apologize for. I want to know if Rob can come up with the name.
Yeah, you know what? Watch him like that. Kenny, the Strangle Chef, not happy with me right now. He has no reason to be. I got a little lippy.
Are you in the wrong here?
Yes.
Well, I guess that would be why you're 100%. Apologizing.
No. Yeah. There's no. Oh, you saw it the wrong way. No, I was just a prick.
I pulled the audio,
and not the first time. Thanks, man. And
he's actually upstairs right now.
Yeah, he's right over there.
Yeah.
Do you know why they call him
Katie hostage?
Awesome. Do you know why they call him the Strangle Chef? It's an interesting name
because he the way he just strangles the flavor out of that food.
Oh yeah,
into your mouth.
He puts that T-bone steak in a rear naked choke. No, he's an accomplished chef and like jiu-jitsu black belt.
Oh, way to piss him off.
That's the person that I don't want to piss off.
Can kill you with his hands or poison you.
Wow, this fish tastes like cum, and I'm being choked.
I was trying to think of an old WWF announcer that worked with Jesse the Body, and I was like, "What's his name? He was bald. He had
Gorilla Monsoon."
No, it was
one of the ones I suggested.
He was at one of the desks where they commented on
Paul Heyman. Too soon.
In between,
Mean Gene Okerlund.
That's
exactly right. Yeah,
I could not pull Mean Gene. For whatever reason, I couldn't make the Mean Gene pull. I just had a brain fart.
The nicest guy in the world.
By the way,
Mean Gene Okerlund.
Mean Gene Okerlund, sweetheart.
Yeah, Mean Joe Green, total ass.
Total prick. But wrestling fans are a passionate sort.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately, the same people that celebrate me talking about wrestling compared to 99% of the audience who want me to fucking put my head in a waffle iron when I bring up a Ric Flair promo, they start getting in on me.
Yeah.
And
Justin wasn't in the mood, I guess.
Well, you know what? One or two, fine. I start getting texts from friends to my fucking phone.
You idiot.
You fucking moron. I'm disappointed in you. You dipshit. And I got texts to my phone. I started getting messages on Twitter. I started getting DMs on fucking Instagram.
Hey, I got up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And Kenny was unfortunately bad timing.
Through the short straw. And by the way, of all the messages I got from people, this was the nicest.
But it was the order of which.
It was not his fault at all.
The straw that broke the camel.
But I have this fucking tantrum.
But he's never going to hear this because he's never going to listen again.
No, he might. Well, he definitely unfollowed me.
He did?
Yeah, he unfollowed JSS. He still follows both of you and the Bussy Boys.
Well, then we're
fine. Thank God.
No, I've been excommunicated.
Okay.
But this dude's come to like so many shows.
Yeah.
He came to Vibe. We're going to talk about your show. He came to mine there.
Well, you know what? You have the floor to apologize.
Kenny, I gave Kenny, he wrote me this very long message. I showed you guys, like, dude, I fucked up. Check this out.
The beginning of it was like, hey man, I'm this. And at the end, he's like, basically go fuck yourself.
Which, I mean, I should go fuck myself after. And I was yelling like, stop DMing me at me and something like that. And it wasn't great. I was acting like I was acting pissy. It was 1,000% on me. And I gave him my number. I'm like, dude, call me, please.
Did he call?
No, didn't call, didn't text.
Well, this apology should work.
You've been getting a lot of dick pics suddenly.
I was like, wait a minute, where's that? That dick is wearing a jiu-jitsu gi. That's a black belt on a black dick.
The strangle cock.
Yes, Kenny the strangle cock, choking me out with his dick. So Kenny, if you somehow hear this, I am so in the wrong. You are in the right. You've been nothing but supportive for like a decade, and support them. You tell me to go fuck myself. I deserve to.
And Kenny, Justin, this isn't just for the show. He texted us. He's legitimately.
He did.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I lost a friend because I did, and sorry, that's happened.
Let's be honest. You can't afford to lose anymore.
Speaking of pissing people off that you love. So you know, what was it, a month ago?
He's already at a pest. He's feeling sensitive.
No, this is me.
This isn't what I need.
This is me.
Right.
So
especially about real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off. There's going to be another person that I upset next week on Patreon.
Oh, geez.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big one.
I am swinging it with
Yeah.
it. Schlegel's 0 for 2 this week.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Wait for next Patreon, please.
So, but last week I thought that the mail went to the wrong house because
Yes.
I got my other neighbor. So I text Randolph, hey, did you send this? Not like, where's my money? Randolph Rice, by the way, our
we saw
sponsor,
him Wednesday.
Right? We love
Great
him.
to see him.
He sent me this big, long email about where to go in New Orleans. I mean, I love the guy, right?
Yeah, he's the patron. He's the reason we have his goddamn photo right there. I'm wearing the shirt that he bought, and
Yeah.
all of you did. We'll get into it.
Well,
Thank
speaking
you.
of that,
Some of
he
you
sends
modeled
me a
them.
text today. I forgot to respond, by the way. And he goes, hey, check went out today. I'm like, no, dude, I wasn't. I don't. I know you're good for it.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like every month you to tell me when it
I
goes.
thought that the neighbor got the check.
You mean the guy with the 6-figure boat's good?
Right,
For it?
exactly.
You got the
I know
multiple
he's good
properties
for
is
the
good for it?
pittance that he gives us.
The
I'm
guy
just
that wins tens of millions of dollars in settlements for his clients is good.
Yes,
For it.
yes, I know. So Randolph, I love you. You can keep sending them, right?
Yeah.
That's fine, but it's not required. I know.
God,
I
we're
know
fucking
you're
up.
gonna. Yeah, I know that the check is in the mail. I
What would
know
we
that.
honestly do if he didn't send the check?
I would do nothing.
Nothing.
Like he could just stop sending, and
No.
we would never say anything.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't know if he stopped paying today. To your point, we continue to put his ads in forever.
We would. We
You'll
totally
never-
would.
Yeah.
you're-
Okay.
Yes.
He doesn't pay for a year. We still do it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
For 5 years.
Well, no, we
Continue-
start making the ads about like
Him not
if someone
paying.
doesn't pay,
Yeah.
you can sue. Yes.
I need his friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
It's
the most
almost
powerful
good
person.
radio if he stops paying.
If he
Yeah.
stops paying, don't give us good radio.
Yeah.
No, that's bad
Bad
Give us
radio.
bad radio. I want bad radio.
2 years?
Yeah.
All right.
Is he,
And you know
do
what else
we
he
still go
is?
after 2 years?
I think two is like okay.
Right now we're
We'll just start giving shitty ads.
Yeah.
It's
Uncle Ben's
We'll start
rice
spelling it
law.
wrong.
Corn.
Yeah.
Rice.
ricelawiowa.org.
But a
Yeah.
few months, he's got nothing to worry about, right?
No,
A few months, nothing.
Oh no. His money is absolutely good. We'll mispronounce the name of the place and all that, but yeah, it's I mean, what the hell? We'll call it Rice Gertha and Pesaurus or something.
Right. Ariel says Joe's been killing it on JSS.
Yeah, you've been doing a
Joe.
great job.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Mac Burks has said, any subject that isn't about Joe, I'm all in for.
Good to have you back, Matt. We need to get Mac a t-shirt. We got to get Dave Dennis,
Yeah.
who was the designer. We need to get him a t-shirt.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You know what else Randolph is?
Yes.
Randolph, when he joined us on JSS, has joined us down here. He will again. We're going to join him this year in Ocean City. He's a great guest.
Oh, yeah. He sends you
Yes.
this whole dossier.
He sends us
Of
this
what?
absolute
Right.
document. He
Yes.
does the work for us.
Shit that we've never done for our own show.
Ever.
No.
This is a fucking paper towel. Okay. This will be cummed in. This will not be written on. He is a great guest. He shows up at 98. He calls into 98. He hangs out in the sofa. He waits for Joe or Kobe. There are producers on Justin Scott and Spiegel. Someone comes over, says, Mr. Rice, would you like a coffee or water? Oh, no, I've got my own. As a matter of fact, I brought all of you coffee. I brought you champagne. You've all got new Hyundai Sonatas.
What
They're
a
all waiting up.
gentleman.
Here's a key. Here's a key. So he's easy, man.
He's also easy to like.
And to look at.
We recently had a guest that was not
Okay.
where
Oh.
listen, the guy ended up being nice, okay, but we had a dude up recently. Did you hear? Again, not a bad guy,
Okay.
but a kind of a weird one.
Mhm.
Did you hear the dude that we had on, the bug entomologist, talking about this cicada brood?
No, and as a matter of
Wait,
fact,
the bug guy was weird.
the reason that I didn't
Yeah.
hear this is because I almost did the story
We
today.
talked
Oh,
about.
okay.
Should I talk about this cicada
Yeah.
brood? It's for the first time in 200 years. They're gonna slam into each
And
other.
they're like, we've been talking
We're
about
good.
that.
We're good. So he is slated to be on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he's gregarious, and he's got a bunch of examples, and he
How
brought
old
in a
is he?
bunch of cicadas. I'm going to guess late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
Mhm.
He's the bug guy. He's got a great YouTube channel, all that. But he was going to be on in the 8 o'clock hour for an 8:45 interview. What
Okay.
time does he get there?
7 o'clock.
6:15. He walks in, and he is.
Does he have a big tray of bugs?
He's got a
By the
thing full of bugs.
Of all that's so early to have to get up. It's not like it's at 4 p.m. and he got there at 2:30.
It's
I mean, you had to-
shockingly.
Yeah.
early.
Did you move things around so you could get?
No.
So he
No.
just sat where, in the jock lounge?
Oh, that's the next thing. He didn't sit. He just starts roaming the halls. Big Dan, the main man,
Oh,
the
yeah.
president of Hearst.
Mhm.
Every now and then, he just so happens to
Oh,
come
God.
upstairs and visit his radio property.
Mhm.
Television's downstairs take priority, as it should. But every now and then, the emperor walks upstairs, takes a look at our progress, tip of the Stetson, heads back downstairs. This guy looked a little wide-eyed. Who was the insane wide-eyed Jonestown preacher? The guy that there's like clips of him
Oh,
online.
yeah.
Like-
I do know. Is he the Heaven's Gate
The
guy?
Heaven's Gate
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
just
yeah.
like the fucking Heaven's
He
Gate
does.
preacher.
It's not a good look.
It's a look, yeah.
It's a look,
Yeah.
and the look is I haven't blinked in 3 presidents, and he's
By the way,
just
there's nothing. You're the floor the radio station is on. There's nothing going
There's
on.
nothing.
This is very
It's
boring.
a big square.
Yeah,
you just are walking
you-
around.
it's all-
If you're there 5 minutes early, you're bored with 3 minutes left.
so this dude just starts wandering around, and he's like wandering. He's just like looking in the window to the studio and just like staring, and you could hear us in the hallway through the PA system. He starts chiming in on the breaks from outside the studio. We can see him talking, going. He's mouthing
Oh,
the
now-
word, and we're
now
like,
I like him.
all right. And then here comes Dan.
Are you guys commenting on it?
We're like off the
On-
air. Like,
off the air
fucking
you are.
get the
On the air, I'd be like, hey, we have a guest here.
They don't know what's happening, and we can't comment on it because no one can see it. You can't see him on
Gotcha.
Livewire, so
Okay.
it's just fucking odd. And we're like, Kobe, Joe, wrangle this fucking guy and go sit him down. They do. They go back to their workstations. He fucking gets back up.
Sometimes you got to stretch the legs.
He decided to stretch the legs and go and show the man that has all of our fate in his hands his tray full of bugs.
Oh, God.
And Dan's like, awesome. Hey, Joe, any chance you can get Bugman over here a cup of coffee and get him comfortable? Sits him back down. We'll be with you in an hour, sir.
God,
He sits back down. Dan goes back downstairs. Joe goes back to audio.
he's not on his phone or doing anything.
We're fucking talking. Pops his head in the studio. We're like, what? Fucking
This
go.
is the on-air light on?
Couldn't be brighter. Couldn't be brighter. We're like, dude, you got to go.
How's it
sit.
going in here, guys?
Hey, fellas. And finally,
didn't mean to bug you.
hey, yeah, finally, we bring him in. We're like, man, you sure, you got here early today, bud. I love it. Early's on time, and on time is late. He's like, yeah, I thought I could join you for the show. You just thought you'd just fucking be here for 3 hours? Like, he was like, yeah, I got here early. Put me on.
So
No.
now eventually he did get
Eventually
on.
came on and did great.
Now hold on. Did you address what time he got there?
No.
You
he
didn't do that.
Seem what we said something very briefly, like, this guy's been here for a while now. He's so eager to talk about bugs. And once you got him talking, kick back and put your feet up.
That was it.
That was it. You ever heard us interview Gene Simmons? We've interviewed him once. And it
One
took 15
question.
That's it. It was one question, 15-minute TED talk later. This guy was actually interesting, but it was like we had to have a fucking talk with our people afterwards. Like, listen, one of you might need to go sit with him or somebody, because
Okay.
we get like Street Bike Tommy from Good Boy Vodka, Travis Pastrana, famous comedians, musicians. They plan it in the guest area and they wait to be called on.
Yeah.
This dude's like, I'm gonna fucking explore, man. And we can't have that in a multimedia center with open mics, hot cameras, hot mics, news
Yeah.
reporting, other guests. Sometimes we have the governor, we have the mayor, Secret Services in there, or their version of Secret Service. So yeah, there was a there was a hard talk with the fellas.
I have a feeling
About-
he wasn't physically threatening though, right?
No, but neither was the dude that shot homie from the Beatles. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like-
true. You're
yeah,
right.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, there was
David Chet.
yeah, Lennon. Yeah, the guy that off
That's
Lennon.
it.
Also, you're like, oh, Dana White's gonna put him in the octagon. No,
you should have him on and just have a side bet what time we'll get there.
yeah,
'Cause that would be entertaining.
bring him on. We'll book
Yeah.
Mark
him at
David
9.
Chapman.
Book him at
Mark David
5.
Chapman.
Book him at 5:30 a.m. See if
Yeah.
he gets there during the Kirk and Marianne shift the day before.
Yeah, yeah, have him on. But
Yeah.
then, by the way,
Yeah.
he was on. Fucking fascinating. Like the boss loved him. Listeners loved him. I think Ariel was even like, oh my god, you got to have this fucking guy back on. Yeah, he was an interesting guy. But yes, we're looking for a room to sequester people into now. They can't just be floating out there. Which, side note, speaking of Dan, speeding of the waiting room area.
Yeah.
So at the station, we've got this area. It's 2 couches. It looks like a casting couch thing outside of some crying runaway and a guy with a VHS camera.
No magazines or anything.
No, it's not a lot like, all right, let's get a look at that butthole. It looks like a casting couch.
Yeah.
Dan, who might have had a spirit or two at the Spring Thing concert, pulls me aside on Friday night. And he goes, hey, I got a project for you. I go, anything you need, sir. He goes, that area upstairs, it's a little dry. I want to do something to it. You have an arcade at home, right?
Oh my God.
Yes, I do. He goes, would you build one there? I reached for his belt buckle in a play to try and pull his $2,000 Italian silk pants to the floor. He is going to give me a budget.
A budget to put.
He wants me to build an arcade similar to the one that I have.
What? You have
in there? I have
15 machines, right?
21.
21.
And you figured out the machines, the games you're gonna pick.
It's funny you should ask. He has some requirements. He's like, get what you think we can do for under a specific amount of money.
Okay, how many games? We
$50,000.
You have $50K. No, it's not that. But it's not an insignificant amount of money. But he goes, I need golden tee.
I was gonna say that.
Golden
I know
tee
he's a golfer.
and another classic arcade game. And I'll even give you a hint. We talked about this a long time ago on Dork Dynasty. It's considered to be the first video game ever to use licensed music. Music that needed the license from the original artist.
I was going to guess pole position, but I don't know if there's licensed music.
You're close.
Okay.
Really?
Please.
So it's a driving game.
Continue.
Gran Turismo.
No. This is classic.
It's a game.
Classic arcade game. Throw a quarter in an arcade game.
I'm trying to think of a
I would not be surprised if you in your teenage years probably played this in an arcade.
Knight Rider.
Both of you are
Night Driver.
leaning
Night
in.
Driver. That was
No,
an Atari game.
Night
Tron?
No. Stick with the driving. You
Okay.
came close. Both of
All
you
right.
with the driving.
I can't think of any driving games.
Do I know it?
Yes. The minute I say it, you'll know it. At least I'd hope.
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure.
Good.
I wouldn't put it in the A tier Pac-Man.
Okay, but
Tetris,
he wanted
Super
it.
Mario. He's like, if you
No one in chat is guessing, so I don't know.
If you build this, I will come. He wants this one unit up there. And Arcade One Up, the company I buy my stuff from, they don't make it, but I have a guy that can
Need
put it on
for
a unit.
Speed?
No, this is like an old,
80s.
like Centipede.
So
I don't think I'm going to
Defender,
get it.
Galaga.
Defender,
Yeah.
Galaga, Rampage.
Because that's what
Jungle
that's
Hunt.
one I know.
Yeah. Something like that. Something.
But I can't think of a driving game.
Outrun, something like that.
Is that what it's out?
No. Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter. I do remember.
I remember
Spy
the
Hunter.
name, but I don't remember. I
And
remember
Peter
playing it.
Gunn.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have
You know why?
Spy
I'll bet.
Hunter, and are you gonna have?
Spy Hunter, Golden
Yeah.
Tee, and then whatever money left over, fucking go
But
nuts.
Spy Hunter, can't you get that with other? Like, can't you get
Yes.
it? Yeah.
I got a guy that can build the thing using
Yeah.
an existing unit, but he's like, if you get me Spy Hunter and Golden Tee, I'm gonna give you that much right there. I'm gonna give you that
Okay.
much. I'm gonna give you that,
Okay.
and that's it. And I'm gonna put some shit up there. Like he's giving me a project. He's by the end of summer. I want that thing to be fun. I want it to be colorful up there. I want our guests to have some fun.
Say something I would never say to
It's
Dan.
fucking awesome, man.
No one's going to want to play Spy Hunter except Dan. He
I'll
must
probably-
be excellent at
But
it.
I'll
if-
probably play some Spy Hunter.
If whoever's paying for it, they get to have.
Right, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
Right.
He's probably
yeah.
great
Right.
at it. Like I used to be good at Star Castle. Do you remember Star Castle?
I don't remember Star Castle.
Star Castle. Yes.
What was the video game
Star
you were
Castle?
best at?
Dig Dug?
That's a great point. Dick
Yeah.
Dug was it. Yeah, Rob. The game you were best at compared to
I don't think
anybody.
I was.
Can I
ever-
say one more thing before?
No.
We owned Donkey Kong Jr. We had a tabletop,
Oh yeah, they
Okay.
call it a cocktail cap.
and I was fucking great at that.
Where's
Well,
that
I,
thing end up at?
I don't know,
Landfill
man.
somewhere.
Yeah, I
yard
don't.
sale?
I don't remember.
God,
we
I
might
bet
have sold
if
it or
that
whatever.
thing's fucking mothballed, you're sitting on a couple of bucks.
No,
Yeah.
it's definitely not.
Get Galaga. We're gonna do the
I
classics
love
in
some
there.
the game I was best at. And this isn't going back to as a kid. This
Yeah.
is going back into, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Was the Wii on the balance board with
We
the-
fit.
It was the Wii Fit. Yeah, I don't know if you didn't need the balance board for this. Although I was good at the slalom on the.
Fucking Barisha.
But I was good at the soccer ball would come at you. You'd have to head it, and then you'd have to duck the other things that would come at you. So you're just doing this, and I was getting the
You were
perfect
fucking
score.
Hope So.
Literally the perfect score. Then there's another level. I got the perfect score on that. Everyone else is not even getting close. I don't know what that skill is to be able to do this.
You were
this,
Megan
this,
Rapinoe at that.
This duck. I don't know how that translates to any kind of actual skill that would help you in life.
They thought that
But
game
for
was
whatever
gonna-
reason could just.
That's
the
weird because
world-
you're not a good dancer.
Well, it's not about the. No, it's
But
not.
I figure it takes some sort of.
well,
body
I mean,
coordination.
I
Yeah.
can sway. It's
Yeah,
like-
we can-
I just can't do
You're
it.
very
to
good at
the-
sway.
I can't do it to the
He's like-
music.
He's
Yeah.
like he's not
right
into the beat.
Hey, if this is the song, how'd you do this?
I'll guess what game he's worst at. Dance Dance Revolution.
Yes, yes,
just the shit. So let's start with New Orleans. We got into it on Monday. You, Katie, Jazz Fest.
Yeah, we went to Jazz Fest. By the way, Jazz Fest we should all go.
It's a misnomer, by the way,
Yes.
that when you hear Jazz Fest, I was like, okay, it sounds a little sleepy.
You have to hunt for jazz.
You got to look for jazz. When you think of the Rolling Stones, do you think jazz?
No, I mean
They were
there
there.
is some sax in there.
Chris
some of their
Stapleton,
songs.
do you think jazz?
No,
I do not.
He was there. The Killers.
It
No.
sounds like just the greatest concert of
It
all time.
sounds like
so
a
far.
fucking
Yeah.
festival that has some jazz elements. I saw photos. You showed me the lineup upstairs.
The
God,
lineup
what a
is incredible.
banger.
But I'll tell you this. So the headline Vampire Weekend was there. Foo Fighters are going to be there. I
Are
mean,
they- are they
it's-
on different venues?
It's all
or-
in different. They're
Okay.
different stages, different days.
Okay.
When I was there, the big acts were Chris Stapleton, Jean Baptiste,
Yeah.
Vampire Weekend, and who am I leaving out? I'm forgetting a big one. The Revivalists were there.
Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys that were there the day before I got there. Anyway, we saw Chris Stapleton and we saw the Killers. That's
That's
who we
pretty
saw.
strong.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, the Chris Stapleton, he's good. I know he can sing his ass off, but the Killers,
Oh, dude,
No, I'd love
Brandon
to see the
Flowers and the
Killers.
Killers.
The
are
Killers,
incredible. Yeah,
man, first of all, their catalog is fucking awesome.
it's
Yeah.
deep
Right.
as shit. They're
And then
super talented.
and they closed with When We Were Young and what's I Got Soul But I'm Not a Soldier, that one, which is
Yeah.
that song is a fucking
Love it.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great. But I'd say we spent more time in the gospel tent than anywhere else. I'm telling you, they were incredible.
No, that's some legit.
They
singing.
sing
Oh
the word
my
of God
God.
into you. You feel closer to Christ.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. Yes or
Yeah.
no, whatever. It's
Yeah.
really not. It's really a music thing. There are
Yeah.
some people I'm sure that are very religious.
If that was what church was, I'd go more.
It
But
was
they had a full band too.
it
right?
was
They had
incredible.
piano and-
They have a full band.
Yeah.
It's about 4 or 5 pieces, and
Yeah.
then they have all these singers, and then they usually have 1 or 2 singers. And these people,
They just Whitney Houston.
oh
Gush.
my God,
Did
they
you know
can,
any of the songs?
can-
or were
I
they just
knew
doing-
none of
but they're
the
doing
songs.
Classic gospel.
They cover WAP.
they're not doing. They didn't cover WAP, but they're so good.
songs. Right. Doesn't
It's one of
matter.
those songs
exactly.
you hear for the first time.
Put
you're
your
like,
hands in the
Yeah.
air for this
Yeah.
wonderful ass preacher.
Right.
But on the way to that, the
Mhm.
blues tent and the gospel tent are in this area that has like this, I don't know, this 15-degree grade going down.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's me, Katie, and our friend Jack.
Yeah.
Right. His wife is not there yet. So it's just us 3. And I step off this, it's asphalt and then dirt. And there's this ridge that goes about, I don't know what you'd call it, like curved.
Mhm.
And I step off this thing.
Uh-oh.
And I immediately like, okay, I'm going down. But I try to catch myself. And I go from here, and it's hard to say, but further than this air conditioning unit right here.
Yeah.
I stumble and bumble all the way down the hill, thinking I can catch myself.
Like half of a basketball court that long.
Not half of a
But
basketball
about
court.
12, 14 feet.
About 40, yeah, about
Okay,
14. I sent a
okay.
picture of it if you
Right,
if you
right.
saw it. And I'm trying to catch myself, and eventually I realize, okay, I'm not going to catch myself. This is happening almost in slow motion. But there's a trash can. If I can get to that trash
If I can
can,
get to that track.
If I can make it to the trash
Yeah.
can,
then the
no one will have
trash can
noticed.
can break my fall,
Yes.
and obviously it's going to suck. But and
You're not going to take a header
I
onto the
get to
asphalt.
the trash can. Of course, you know how many people are at Jazz Fest?
like tens of thousands.
Like 600,000 are going to
That's
be there
way
over those
more
periods.
than that.
Over
yeah.
over that over all those days. So is that trash can empty or full?
Well, you're
Oh,
hoping
it's
it's full,
full.
but the full is probably going to break the fall better.
Oh, it's also a big one of those big plastic ones,
Yes.
and I hit it, knock over the trash can, and I go down. Now, first of all, the first thing is I'm humiliated,
Is
right?
it plastic
Obviously.
or metal?
Now it's plastic.
Which doesn't make as much noise, which benefits you.
Yeah.
And plastic also crumples like a shock
Listen,
pad.
the
Also, a
noise
benefit.
wasn't. It didn't
But
matter.
there are people watching, right?
They're not people. There are hundreds of people.
But in the close proximity, a big metal trash can, you're going to hear.
No, you're right. But what
It's
I'm
a
saying
benefit
is
with
that
yours.
where I was, yes, you're right. If it was a metal trash can, maybe somebody across the way might have said, "Oh, there's
Yeah.
a commotion," but everybody knew that anyway because everybody is there, and I'm bumbling and stumbling, and I make it, and I fall, and of course, every time, what does somebody say to you?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Right, and of course, I'm.
This is a bit that I do.
Yeah.
It's not the injuries, which, by the way, I was bleeding, but it was that
The embarrassment.
you're embarrassed, right?
Mhm.
And of course, this guy shuffles over, and I described him. He looked like. Did you see Old School? Do you remember Old
Does he
Blue?
look like blue?
He looked like Blue.
His relic.
And he goes, "Do you need some help?" And I'm like, "Christ, man!"
This guy, who is one good coughing fit away from death, wants to know
Right.
if you need
And
help.
I'm embarrassed, and now I'm even more embarrassed because this guy, I'm like, I'm never gonna let this guy help me up. I'm never gonna do it. I'm getting up on my own, no matter what.
The same week he shit his pants so many years ago. There we have a second anniversary.
Yes.
This is just a week from now on. The day
Yeah.
you shit and the day you fell.
Then the guy behind me goes, "Do you need to go to the medical tent?"
Oh,
And I'm like,
no.
"Christ, no, I don't need to go to the medical tent. You guys need to disperse."
You need to go back to
I'm
your hotel.
embarrassed. Can you
need a
please
nap?
leave?
If a man 20 years your junior, same exact step for step fall, are they asking him, "Hey, do you need to go to the medical tent? Are you okay?" I
Yeah.
get that's just sort of a natural
It's
thing to
not
say.
that. Maybe they would, but what I think is that somebody 20 years younger probably could have caught their feet underneath of them. Now,
Yeah.
this actually made me feel better. First of all, there's a sign there. It says, "Watch your step." Did I send it to you? Did you
I
see
saw
it?
the sign.
Yeah.
Now, what's frustrating is that as you're walking down the hill, there's no way you can read the sign. It's perpendicular to where you're walking. You cannot read the sign.
Yeah, no one else fell.
I think he's got a
Well,
case.
hold on. It's funny you say that.
He's got a case.
Yes.
It's
Randolph.
Randolph, get on it.
Randolph.
Okay.
It's funny you say that. I'm walking by and there's a dad and his kid. He goes, "Yeah, well, there's signs here, blah, blah, blah." And I go, "Did you fall?" The kid goes, "Yeah, I just fell." I fist bumped him.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
I met somebody
Right.
else that fell.
The
So
young and
It's
the
also
elderly.
3 months old.
Yeah.
he's 3 months old.
And
He's
he's got-
just learning to walk.
And he's got polio.
Yeah.
Now, can we discuss the footwear?
Yeah, was that bad?
The footwear was
you're-
criticized by our friend Sean Gabbard, and
I'm going to criticize it. as well.
accurately so. Sean wrote, "I don't mean to victim blame, but flip flops in the city. What are you thinking?" Or sandals.
Well, yeah, I
It's
wasn't.
sandals.
It was flip flops, and I wasn't wearing them. I was wearing them at the festival, and I even looking back now. The next day, I wore tennis shoes
Dude,
for sure.
I cannot walk in flip flops.
Yeah.
I can't fucking do that
I
toe
couldn't either.
grip. I've never worn flip flops more than a shamble through a kitchen.
I wear I'll wear you know this. I'll wear them all summer.
I'll
my,
wear
my
Jordans to
feet,
the
I
beach.
would. I'd be physically. I couldn't do it.
I can't do it.
My ankles would swell.
Did I ever?
I can only wear flip flops on the beach and then at the pool if there's
Getting out of the
water.
pool to walk
Right,
into
right.
the kitchen and
But
then back
you're-
out and
but
take
to
them off
walk
again.
it to be.
I
Plus,
may-
you're amongst a lot of people. There's a lot of chance of getting stepped on.
Yeah, I did.
It
That's
seems,
but I'm used to it,
yeah,
right?
Well, you did fall, so
Well, that again, I'm not
Your
saying,
feet are all
but it is a
sunburned.
place that people fall so often they have a sign up.
okay.
Okay, so I get it. I should not be falling.
But that is an area that it's so empirical, the evidence because of the sign, that they should
That's
probably
true.
change that area
But then in their defense, you know how often I fall?
pretty often.
I do. I
Yeah.
fall about once every 2 months.
How often do I spill this?
Now, I'm
thing?
not like Robbie's
Every
girlfriend,
show.
Okay.
but if I step, when I bought this house,
The one with
Mhm.
Lou Gehrig's?
the one,
Yes.
the
Right.
one,
Boo, Garrick.
the one that we're in right now, there's where the garage door is, there's a little lip
Yeah,
right as you walk out of the garage. Definitely fell there.
definitely ate it.
100%. And now every time I'm there, I'm cognizant of the fact that because my ankles, I must have the weakest ankles.
If you
You
so
should have strong ankles if you're not wearing any support on your ankles. Maybe they're
True,
just so
I
deteriorated.
should be wearing high tops.
your
Right.
ankles are
Right. Yeah.
too jacked.
Yeah.
Now you fell down, correct? A decline.
Yes.
Okay.
And you knocked over trash.
Have you ever fallen up anything?
Mm.
I have more times in my life
Up the
than
stairs.
down. I
Yeah.
will go for a phantom step that's
Oh, and it's not
there.
there.
You want to talk about a goddamn
Mm.
clown show. When you trip and fall down the steps or something, but when you go to make a motion for a thing that's not there and your weight distribution goes completely out the window. I've done that in my house since I've lived there coming up on 9 years, probably 40 times. I will go for a step that's not there, not paying attention, and down goes Frazier.
have
Bang
you,
my head into the goddamn wall.
have you guys ever seen that girl? She's fucking hilarious. She'll fall on purpose, and somebody will
Dude,
be videoing
with
her.
the popcorn,
The popcorn?
bucket in the theater,
God.
she sends it. She does a pratfall. Chetty
Yes.
Chase is jealous
So
of.
what she does is she
She
buys a big
sends
big thing of popcorn, and then she just purposely just throws the popcorn everywhere. Katie said that's what I look like.
It's amazing.
But you should always just have popcorn with you.
At
So
this
I look
point-
like I'm doing
exactly,
a
yeah.
I look
It's a
like I'm doing a
bit.
prank.
Hey! All right, did you get that?
Yeah.
Did you get it? Let's get it uploaded to the TikTok followers.
What's the ratio of you falling to Katie falling?
I've never seen
Falling.
Katie fall. I've
She's
never
never-
seen her
Katie
fall.
was like a pretty elite athlete.
She's a
Yeah.
very good athlete.
Yeah.
She made varsity basketball at her school as a freshman.
Elite's
Um,
the strong.
she's a good athlete.
Okay.
She's
gigantic
better than Simone Biles.
Yes.
at,
Yes.
Anyway, but so I here's something you don't know yet,
She's
Rob.
our Caitlin Clark.
I also pulled another. Remember the ballet experience?
Oh, I know about that.
Please refresh the audience.
Okay, please.
Quickly on the
So
ballet.
real quick,
experience.
I bought tickets for my wife and I to go to the ballet at the Kennedy Center. Tickets were $25 a piece. I don't know how much ballet tickets cost. I feel like that's reasonable.
Remember, we looked it up.
Yeah.
What are they, 150 or something?
100
Yeah.
I mean, what would
Yeah.
something cost at the nicest venue in the world?
Yeah.
The
People train their whole
yeah,
lives to
right.
perform at
the
it.
parking was 35.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And we go in there, and it's not a ballet. It's a.
You're dressed nicely, by the way. You
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
dressed for the ballet.
That's right. I'm wearing I'm wearing a sports
Yeah,
coat. I have a
she's not-
picture from that day.
But also wearing flip flops.
Then flip flops. No, I don't have flip flops.
He falls immediately.
And I didn't make it in. And they're doing a lecture on the ballet series at the Kennedy Center that year. So we stay for 5 minutes, we laugh, we leave.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
So, this Jazz Fest is at a horse track.
Yeah.
And so in the grandstands, it's called, I can't remember the name, Allison Milner, I believe, the Allison Milner stage or something like that. And so we go, well, let's walk through there. They're playing live music downstairs. And then we look up in the glass, Jack and I go, hey, there's people up there playing. So we walk up there and we sit down in the grandstands, and there's only about 25 people there.
Okay.
Okay. And in walks these bands, and one has a clarinet, one has a drum, another guy's sitting there, another guy has a trumpet, another guy has a trumpet, a trombone, and a saxophone.
Okay.
So that they're all there. I'm like, I wonder what this is, right? Because no one's there. Next thing you know, a white guy sits down in the middle of them.
I'm out.
Okay, we're here to interview both. What one band was called Hot 8,
Okay.
and the other band was called. Of course, I start laughing,
Okay.
and they start asking these guys questions. 3 of the guys, they don't speak English. They have a translator.
You showed up for an AMA and
So-
asked me anything. Interview of jazz musicians. They're not playing.
Yes.
They're talking through Shohei
Yeah.
Ohtani's
Yes,
translator
that's
about
right.
Zydeco music.
Yeah,
And the white rappers from our county
Yeah.
shows up.
I
What
wish
the hell
I
are you guys doing here?
the one band was from Colombia. I can't remember the name, but I just saw it on
Right.
the thing. And the other band is called Hot 8 Brass Band. Apparently, they're a big band.
Okay.
That not like a big band,
Mhm.
but like they're a well-known band. So they're asking them questions. I'm laughing, right? This thing's only 45 minutes long. So I'm like, all right, we'll endure, right?
Maybe there'll be some music at the end of this
Right.
thing.
They're going to play at the end.
Okay.
So they're asking them questions, and it's a lot, right? And they're asking questions, and
What are some of the questions they ask?
So tell us about the culture in Colombia and how it corresponds or relates to the way that
I
your
am
music
out for
and you
a
bring it to
bang.
the people, blah, blah, that kind of stuff, right?
Fuck this.
And then what'll happen is the
I'd
one
chuck
guy,
a po' boy like a spiral.
the guy who sings, the vocalist, he doesn't understand anything that's going on. That guy asked the translator, asked the question of the guy. The guy answers the question for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm like, first of all, there's no way that she's retaining all the things that he's saying, right? And then finally,
Mac writes Hot 8, the type of girls who DM Rob.
No, or that I DM. And
Hell yeah.
and
getting back. Thank
the,
you, Mac.
the answer that the interpreter would give was, I'm not kidding, about 20% of what this guy said. So we're not even getting the real
Yeah.
interview. But the Hot 8, they're a jazz band from New Orleans, and the other ones are from Colombia. They're street musicians, okay? And they're talking about how they have talk about the chemistry between them, how they just kind of get the feeling of where the direction that each others are going because they played together.
Are there people in the audience like with their legs crossed, nodding like this is good shit?
Oh, they're like, yeah,
This is
yeah.
amazing. Those people are the fucking worst.
You would have known by I didn't need to see
Didn't
that.
even need every wax
No, they were the
mustache, any-
worst.
I only own it on vinyl. The book's better than the movie type.
Katie's on her phone because she's fucking bored.
Yeah.
Of course.
And this lady walks up, she goes, no
Oh my
photography.
God.
Okay. Anyway, so I go, no one cares. You
Yeah.
could, yeah. So
I'm working on a coffee table book entitled The Most Boring Shit That's Ever Happened.
So I'm, of course, loving it, by the way. And they talk a very, very long time about they kind of just vibe off each other and they have this chemistry and they have this connection and the music brings them together and they just kind of figure it. I go, these guys are going to fucking play.
They're about
gonna,
to lay it fucking
and
down.
they're going to be good.
Hot 8 is about to be a hot 10.
So
How long into this interview does somebody finally pick up an instrument?
there's 5 minutes left when they
Oh
start
my
playing.
God. You sat through 40 minutes of this shit.
Yeah. And so
I don't make it 10.
So they The one guy starts playing the clarinet. He's got something going.
Okay.
And then the drum's like boom, doo-ga-doom, doo-ga-doom, doo-ga-doom.
Oh, so they're stacking
Right.
it.
And you're like, oh, this is gonna happen. And then next thing the trumpet's like, and the saxophon's like, and I'm like, I'm looking like this sucks, right? And it fucking sucks. Okay, it's so bad. They had no chemistry. They had no connection, and all we're waiting for is the payoff of them what they can do. And then the Colombian guy's like, yeah, make it singing.
Yeah,
words that he's making up. It's absolute shit. Okay. So
Meanwhile, there's Chris Stapleton's 50 feet.
you're right. We're missing Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, all right, well, Hot 8's gonna start, and they start, and it's not working, and they know it. They know, like,
oh, they realize we're
this isn't
we're
working.
not sticking the landing here.
So the guy on the clarinet's like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play When the Saints Go Marching In. Because
Okay, let me.
everybody's gonna know this song.
Is the New
Classic.
Orleans.
this is the New Orleans classic. Everybody's gonna know. They're gonna jump in,
Da, da,
and he starts playing it. Hey, the trumpet.
Oh,
It's the same
Yes,
shit.
when the
So-
Joe goes marching out.
It was absolutely. I go, is this for real?
Yeah.
They really
You're-
suck.
It feels like you're on a prank show.
this
It
is
was
bad.
yeah.
Is this like the clarinet version of the lady that pretends to be a sign language interpreter?
No,
Like
the
they might not know
clarinetist-
how to play.
No, the clarinetist was good. Look, I'm sure the other guys are good, but they couldn't figure out how to get in with what was
I'm
going
not
on.
sure that they were good.
Maybe they weren't,
they
but
might
yeah.
not have been.
you know
good.
how I know they're good? Because when I told the story, not this long a version of it on
I
JSS,
pulled up a track.
and then but also Randolph goes, "Oh no, they're good." Randolph
Wow.
knew them.
Can I tell you? I find value in all forms of music: country, hip hop,
Mhm.
rocks. I can't fucking stand jazz.
Jazz sucks.
I can't fucking stand jazz. It's like the reason I can't get into Rick and Morty
Mm.
are because of Rick and Morty fans. I couldn't get into Game of Thrones
Mm-hmm.
fans, and wrestling can sometimes be off-putting to people
Uh-huh.
because of wrestling
Sure.
fans. Me, fucking jazz fans, I want to shove into a corn thresher.
My dad was a huge jazz
They
fan.
are
Appreciate that.
sorry
Thanks.
about
Yeah.
that, but
Sorry for your loss.
you had to.
So,
Yeah, he
here's
upped
what I
his
like.
ass.
Okay.
You know what I
well-
like? I like verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus. That's what I like.
You
I
like-
told-
you
Don't
like-
just play whatever the fuck you want.
Right. You like that there's a formula to music. Speaking of music, are we good with the Jazz Fest? Do you have more stuff? Because I have a music thing I'm going to tie into when you're done with your jazz.
No, I got some more, but we
Yeah.
can. I'll just tell two quick stories.
Okay.
Katie and I took an Uber back from the second day of Jazz Fest. The lady driving said, "Oh, is this a father-daughter day?" Okay, said that to Katie and I. So that
Yes.
happened.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look like
And
y'all.
then-
I said you should have said absolutely,
Yes.
and then lean over and started Frenching.
And then I'm
you
gonna.
should have.
Yeah.
And then this might have some. This might have a little bit of meat on the
Yeah.
bone, but I'll. So
Well, if it has meat, let's fucking chew on it.
so Jack, who came with us, he gets some crawfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big old seafood boil.
And this guy, we go to this little area where there's a table, and this guy walks up and he goes, "Oh, how are the crayfish as a new vendor this year?" Okay. And he goes, "Oh, they're good." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I actually did a food taste," and he's kind of selling himself that he's a big deal. The guy next to him, by the way, is flying a drone.
Okay.
The guy next to him. Okay. So we're talking to this guy, and I go, "This guy's he's a little bit of a blowhard, right? He's a little bit of a blowhard,
I
right?"
need you to know I'm someone.
I'll also say when I was making jokes or talking to him, he couldn't have been less interested in me. He was
Okay.
only interested in one person in the party,
And that's him.
that was Katie.
Oh, so he thought he was hitting on your daughter.
He wasn't interested in what I had to say. Next thing you know, the police come up.
Not
and
the
they-
band.
No.
Yeah.
No, not Stuart Copeland. And they go, "Sir, you're not allowed to fly that drone." He goes, "You need to call, John Periwinkle. Tell him I'm David Foster." He goes, "Actually, here's a text from John showing that I can." He goes, "No, I need to call him." He goes, "Okay." So he comes back, and the officer comes back over after he talks to John Periwinkle and goes, "I'm so sorry, sir." He apologizes to the
So
guy.
you were talking to a legitimate
Wow.
mover shaker
Okay.
type.
I don't know that he at least
A
was
cop
telling.
apologized to him
'Cause
and
he
walked
said
away.
something to
That's
me.
a swinging dick.
He said something to me that made me think this guy's got to be full of shit. Because I go, "Yeah, we're excited to see the Killers." He goes, "Well, they should put on a good show as big a check as I gave them." You gave them. First of all, they didn't give him a check. Okay.
Was that a figure of
Yeah.
speech? Like the check I wrote them, most likely a wire
I
transfer.
don't
They
know.
give him a check.
He was like, "What am
puts
I?
it in his pocket.
Am I making this out to the Killers or
Yes.
just
I
Killers?"
swear when
or...
he said that, I
Do
literally.
I take it out to Mr. Brightside?
Mhm.
If I had a chance to do it over
Do
again,
you think that check ends up at the neighbors?
I would have said, well, how much was it?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy clearly wants to tell.
He wants to tell you, I paid $200,000.
But it was so ridiculous that this guy's walking up and going, here's your check. Opens the green room door. He hands him a check. Here you go. But anyway, so I got to meet the guy, I guess, who runs. By the way, his name was David Foster.
Not the David Foster.
But
not the David Foster that was married to Elle McPherson or what's her name?
David Foster's the big,
Catherine McPhee. Catherine
he's
McPhee.
still married to her, I think.
Oh, he is?
And real quick before you wrap up Jazz Fest, our patriarch in the chat right now, Rice Murder Thesaurus Randolph, wants to know, how was the food? Did you go to any of the places he suggested?
Yeah, the food.
It's out of this world.
The food is incredible. It is. And even this guy, I'll tell you what, there's only one thing that isn't good. Pork cracklings. Do not get pork cracklings.
Oh, you had a bad one.
No. You know what
sounds like they
it's like a pork rind, right?
It's no. It's a piece of what do you call it? I don't know, not back fat. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And they fry it, but it's still on the inside, like oil pops out of it when you eat it. I'm telling you, it is disgusting.
You're kind of fucking selling me on it.
Jesus, dead ass. Oil pops in my face.
But everything was good. They have chicken cracklings. I'd recommend those. But we had everything. I had a muffalata. I had, we had gumbo. We had beignets. We had jambalaya. We had alligator. We had everything you could have. There is to have.
Good food, good music, and you also bumped into a singer.
I go to the Lodge in Annapolis. I've been there a few times.
Okay, that's where Katie tried to set you up with.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It is the story.
And
where,
she said, "Why don't you date him?"
Yes, great story. I was there a few months ago on a Friday night, and they had live music. It was packed. It was good vibes. This is a cool spot to be. I'm usually not home on weekends, but then I was there a month or so later on Saturday night. I remember with Pablo. I talked about where I met that girl, the bartender. Not as many people. The music, the guy wasn't as good, but whatever. So I go over there. I want to say it was Saturday night again. And it's fucking dead. I'm not there late. It's like 9:30 or something. And it's one guy in piano. There's a couple over here. Me. I know the bartender, another guy that I talked to about the caps and fucking sports betting cards. We have a little sort of a friendship. I don't know his name. There's another couple. And so the guy's playing. He's playing like Living on a Prayer, but on piano slower. He's playing You Make My Dreams. It's all hits, some Ed Sheeran song. And so I'm sort of clapping because, I feel as like a guy who's done comedy in front of 8 people.
Yeah.
You
identify.
Right.
Exactly. I
everyone else
understand
is
what
clapping.
you're going through. Yeah.
And he's, singing pretty well.
It has got to be easier to perform music instead of comedy.
Much easier. Yes.
Right. Because
you don't need a response until the end.
Exactly.
You only bomb once at the end.
And people can talk, which we'll get to in Vibe in a second. But then he plays Your Song by Elton John. This is a classic song.
But he does that one fast.
So he does it. And then here's my last song of the night. And, when you follow Your Song, what do you want to do? Hey, here's an original.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. So he played a hit and then he played something no one's ever heard.
And it was, I'm telling you.
Was it as good as an Elton John song?
We could write this song now. I swear to God, we could write.
What goes on my pizza?
It's a love song, and this is basically the chorus. I'm probably 90% there. It's something like, "You don't know how beautiful you are, girl. I'll never go far. The way you make me feel, it's so unreal."
Have you ever seen the Will Ferrell?
That's the name of the song by the Unreal.
Helps Garth Brooks, a guest on SNL, write a hit song where Garth Brooks plays this pop star and he's got writer's block and he can't come up with it. And Will Ferrell appears as the devil, as if the devil went down to Georgia. And he shows up at the crossroads in this guy's living room. It's like, I'm going to give you the tastiest lick you've ever heard in exchange for your soul. He's like, yes, I want to be a star. Make me a star. He's like, all right, this is all yours. Eternal damnation for temporary stardom. I like coffee on weekend. Shit! And he can't come up with a song. It's fucking it's one of the funniest bits of makeup you've ever seen them put Will Ferrell in.
But this guy actually took that song.
But this sounds like this song.
The problem is, I have to pee. But I can't get up because there's 5 fucking people in there, and I've been the one clapping. I'm the cheerleader.
Right, my only fan just left.
Now I can't say this guy. He'll kill himself if he shows up. He does music. There's 5 people there. and
Is it
his
an
his
8-minute
original
song?
Yes, he kept the chorus. How many different ways? You could just make up fucking lyrics.
Unreal.
Yeah, you're the greatest thing I've ever seen. Yes,
You are the
yeah,
greatest
it's so obscene
person
right.
I've ever been near.
Yes, exactly. It's just so fucking
Did
bad.
you go up to the end and go, hey,
Yeah.
I really liked it, but
Yeah.
that last one.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
last one, you should
I
probably
saw
draw a
that.
line.
But
through it.
imagine following your song. Don't follow a shittier song.
Yeah, put
with
it in the
original.
middle. Put it
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Start. Yeah. Don't start with it.
Yes.
Don't end with it. Tuck it in the middle after you got
Yes.
a little equity with the crowd.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't like that one? Here you go. Elton
okay.
John. I'm
Mhm.
back.
Mhm.
End on a high note.
Imagine it's Michael Jordan dunking, and then you know what? Now here I'm going to do a layup.
Yeah, a
Michael
gentle-
Jordan dunking, Rob Mayer doing a layup.
Exactly.
A gentle
yes.
finger roll. What do you think he got paid for that game?
I'm sure he got a flat fee. Probably didn't have anything to do with
Because it was a door deal. He took a
I
bath.
bet he got like $300 or something. That place is not going to make it. There, I mean,
God.
you know, it was
nothing that's ever been there has made it.
no, and they have a little outside area too, and it was nice out. And
How many
nobody
different
fucking
places
showed
has
up.
that thing been?
Well,
Or
we're smashing
brands?
grapes. at
Yeah,
one point. I
before
don't know.
that was it.
Yeah.
That was the Green Turtle was there. I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, it
Speaking
was-
of places that won't make it, Vibe probably won't make
Oh
it.
my
So,
God.
so I
dude.
did the show at Vibe, but by the way, it was last minute, and I was weird about inviting people because I didn't know, is it going to suck? Is it going to be good? But we actually, for the people that were there, it was good.
Can I say something? It
Mhm.
wasn't last minute.
No,
wasn't.
because I know the booker.
What I'm saying is,
and-
I actually I checked that
Yes.
weekend with you, and I
Right.
said you're going to be doing this, and
But
I
then
gave
when
you
I
the
don't
thing.
hear anything, I assume
I
it's
I
not
got
happening.
that right, but I'm just saying
Right.
But
I'm
what
not
happened,
blaming you.
No. But it did get uncomfortable for me because the guy's like, "Hey, what are we doing?" And I go, "Let me loop in
Mhm.
Rob, so I don't have to do anything else, right?"
Yeah.
And then I looped you in, and then he's like, "Hey, what are we doing?" And I go, "I'm not trying to be a jerk,
I had forgotten about
but
it.
this is why I
Yeah.
looped in Rob. I don't want to be involved in this, right?"
I made the connection. You two
Right.
go
Yeah,
forth
yeah.
and make the show happen.
So I'm glad it happened. I mean, was
No,
the guy
it-
happy? He
but-
probably wasn't at that point. But
He
was he
paid,
even
man.
there?
He wasn't there.
I was going to
So-
say, because, I was there myself probably 2 months back, and Joe also facilitated. And I had my own struggles that night. I mean, I had questions for you about this gig.
Mhm.
Remember what happened with the audio with mine?
oh yes, I
Where
do.
We
they,
had-
they wouldn't turn the song off while Tommy was on stage. It's like, can you turn the music down now? And the one guy that came up to me 15 times throughout the night asking, "You want to come to rock? You want to come to jazz? You want to come up to the Killers? You want to come to an original?" And then
You
when
want
it's
to come
go
up to me eating wings?
and then he comes, and then he's in the back. He's
Yes.
eating wings. I'm like, "Can you please turn the music off?" And oh shit! Instead of fading it down, he just stops. And then the seats, they couldn't have pushed them farther
Mhm.
back.
Sean
from
had
the
to move
stage.
them forward. Sean Gabbard had open for me, and I didn't ask for a song because that felt like, what are we doing? There's 15 people here.
Yeah.
I have a fucking song.
it's just us.
Right. So I actually, the bartender, super hot, Lindsay, and then she said the other woman, she called the other woman there the owner.
Gross name.
Right.
Really?
Yes. And okay. And because it's weird who owns the place. You never figure
Yeah.
that shit out.
I've
There,
met
there was a
5
manager
people.
that was on the text. First of all, they put up a I sent bio and headshot. They then make a Facebook event with Rob Mayer, MAHR, with me at the DC Improv, with the DC Improv
He had
on
logo
the photo
on there.
from
Another
about
Places
12
Club.
years ago. And I'm like, okay. So then I'd say, can you get my name right? I fix that. I don't even worry about the picture at this point. So I get there, and there were people there for a show. Jason and Kate came out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Did Kenny come out?
He did not come out, and
Still,
I
pissed.
just bring up Sean. I go up and introduce the show. I don't know. The sound guy didn't need to be there, but whatever. And so I bring him up, and there's these 4 people that were at the bar that were just there. I guess that's
They were there to drink.
And their reaction, because Sean was on stage, was, "Oh, well, now we have to talk louder."
Oh, we have to talk
'cause
over
there's-
this guy.
exactly.
Oh no.
And like, I kept looking back, and I don't want to be the one that says something.
But is someone going to
Because
say
somebody
something?
has to.
Because then I'm going to go up there, and if they don't like
Yeah,
me, how that
yeah.
goes, now that's a thing.
And
So-
it needs to be said too. This place, they host. They pay pretty well, but they host a free show.
Yes, it's a free
There's
show.
no cost to
Right.
get in, so these people there that are talking don't feel like they're losing out on anything because they didn't pay to get in.
yeah.
So there's 3 people at the bar next to them. They keep looking over. There's just 2 couples up front. They keep looking back. Everyone's looking back. So I go to the bartender because she comes over, and I go, "Hey, can you have them, can they move somewhere farther away or something? She appeared to not even realize this was happening. And I go, people keep looking back. And then she sees that happening in real time. And she's oh, okay. And then somebody said something. They ended up just leaving, which was fine. The thing that was happening, though, the air conditioning unit kept going on, and it's fucking jet engine, dude.
And there's no one there to kind of.
So you're like, it's jarring. So I ended up going up there, and it ended up being a fun show because there was a couple there. It was on their first date. So of course I'm like, hey, way to bring her to a free show on your first date.
Really broke the bank on this first one, didn't you?
I'm Colleen and Joshua. We ended up becoming Facebook or Instagram friends. They seem really cool. But then after the show, we had some fun moments. It ended up the people that were there were cool, and everyone had a good time. And Sean did really well. And I came out, I bought them a drink, and she orders a tequila and soda. This guy says Long Island iced tea.
Jesus, going at it.
And I'm like,
all right,
okay. Because first of all, that's a pretty strong,
that's a powerful
drink.
Yeah, that's
But it's also a weird drink to ask somebody to buy you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you nervous? Because I was trying to
Long Island I know is powerful. What's in it? It's rum,
everything,
tequila,
right?
It's like 10 boozes.
Everything and a little bit of Coke.
Just for color.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, they used to call him a Mickey. Like I got slipped a Mickey because it's pure booze. You're getting trash.
But it's also not you don't want to let the girl on the first date know that you're a raging alcoholic.
I'm a lush. Yeah.
But it's also, or you're saying that you're cheap because you're like, oh, I'm getting a free drink. I might as well get the strongest one I can.
The $15
which is also probably not something you want to do on a first date. So, but I had
everybody. Did they look compatible?
They did look compatible. I basically planned their second date like from the stage.
Oh, that's cool.
That dry 85.
Did Jason and Kate have a good time?
They had a good time.
Right.
They enjoyed that part. So it ended up being fun.
Jason and Kate came to that, but couldn't make their way to WrestleMania. Got it. Okay. We see where your culture boundaries are.
But I'm just now we follow on Instagram. I'm going to get an update. I want to know how did this work?
When did they get married?
Well, I said that. I actually
be in it
because that happened to me once. There was a couple on the first date in my front row, and I fucked with them. 5 years later, they come to another show. They're married.
Oh man! Yeah. Hey,
and then by the way, on stage, then I said, then he killed her. But that's enough.
Ask if you can officiate the wedding.
I should do that.
Yeah, please. We'll have Eric be a flower girl, Tommy ring bearer, Bussy is the band at the reception.
Before we get to Justin's show, because I want to talk about that.
Okay.
It's because it was fucking amazing. A couple golf things today. So I played golf yesterday. It was amazing. Today couldn't fucking hit it worse shit, right? But I want to know what you would do in this situation.
Okay.
So first of all, there's three of us. The one guy, he's fucking this Indian guy who's an oncologist. He used to be like a fucking pro cycler. Now he just plays golf, and he's like, hey, these balls could go anywhere today. By anywhere he means left side, right side, or center of the fairway. That's what he meant. Okay. He's just fucking amazing. All right.
Great golfer.
But so it's just now he only played 9. So it's me and this other guy. And the 17th hole, we're in Columbia, Maryland. The left is fucking, I think it's 108. It's a busy road. And this is now 4 p.m. It's fucking cars are going back and forth. And he hits it fucking way left. And we just wait because
you wait to hear the crash.
It's not gonna roll into it's gonna be in the air in the road. And someone could die. Like it hits the windshield, it goes
through, they slide, they slam. There's no like netting, nothing. It's just
we're waiting.
That seems like a design flaw.
Waiting. And earlier he had hit it that far left, it hit a tree, and then it hit a house. And we're waiting. So we wait, nothing. But then I was like, what if there's an accident? What do we do?
What do you do? Are you responsible?
Are you responsible?
Do you run?
Because this is it. Because we're on the 17th hole. If we then just leave, we're going to go past the people in front of us. And they're going to see that. And they'll think nothing of it, maybe. But then after the commotion is over, someone's going to come over and talk to the golf course and say, hey. And then they're going to ask, because they'll know our tee times. They have our names. They know where we would be.
But it wasn't you.
It wasn't me. Yeah. But I'm like, if we just leave and then people start asking questions, it will come back on us.
You can't have been the first person. That can't be the first person to have done that.
For you to be the first person to
that
send
that all the time. Yeah.
And now, again, that seems like a bad design. You see some of those.
There aren't trees, but still, it wasn't like I've hit that same bad shot too. I'm sure that happens.
You see at Topgolf, they've got those like 10-story tall nets. I mean, fucking invest in that for insurance purposes.
Yeah, right.
Invest in something.
Randolph will run right
Yes.
out to that driver.
Randolph
Yes.
is going to see to it. That driver doesn't work a day for the rest of their life because
But-
they're getting paid.
But what would you do if you hear like this car crash?
Just
I guess I'd try to do the right thing.
I would probably run over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were you,
I don't want to live on the lamb.
If I were
it
you,
wasn't me. It wasn't
if
me.
I were you, I'd run over and go, that guy hit the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this he jokingly said I'm gonna hit you with the club and what's her name? This figure skater you.
Tanya
I-
Harding and place the glove
what-
in your hand.
You know what you do? Nothing.
Yeah.
You
just keep playing.
You just play around.
What are you
Yeah.
play
talking
the
about?
end. If later there's a phone call, you're like, I don't know, man.
I have no
No.
idea what you're talking about.
No, we've been slicing it right all day. We
We're
have
pretty
never
good.
hit it left.
Lindsay's.
No, I play Titleist. That's a Taylor
That's what
made
I'd say.
ball.
No, I'd say, was it a Titleist? And
Yeah.
if they said no, go, I do Titleist. If they said Titleist, yes, go, well, I use TaylorMade.
We got a grandparent in the family that lives on a golf course in South Carolina. It's over 55 community. First time down there, like 2 years ago, ass end of the pandemic. And my first question, I mean, she lives on the golf course. The fairway is where this Christmas tree is, 50 feet from us. I mean, she's right there. Her backyard goes right up to the thing. And I guess she's got like these tempered windows that come with the houses that they know. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you're going to take a
Gonna
dinger.
get hit.
You're going to take a dinger. And we're sitting there in her big sunroom. And I asked, how often does a golf ball come flying into the house? She's like, the golfers on this course know this course like the back of their hand. They got these pros. Everything for them, thwack right as she's talking. You hear
Yeah.
a fucking ball ping off the siding. Well, that's been
Yeah.
the first one in months,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there won't be another. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't feel comfortable living on the side of a golf course. I'm like, I'm in the backyard, elderly woman gardening, working on her gardenias. I take a fucking ping to the side of the head. She goes down.
Tuesday, the ball rolled up on someone's house. Again, it was the other guy I was playing with, and this old woman gets out her house and she throws it to us, and she fucking looked angry as shit.
Yeah. I'm like,
And I'm like, it did nothing. You live here.
Yeah, you live here.
You
And
choose to
we
live here.
said sorry. And she's like,
I can't believe all the noise at this
fuck you
house
then. I
next
wish
to
it hit you
BWI.
Yeah,
I wish
now
it
like, we just fucking killed you. How about that, bitch?
clapped her
Yeah,
right in the
that
eye.
was aggressive. That was aggressive.
A little
Hey,
much.
Maybe just hurt her,
Yeah,
not
yes.
kill her.
Bring it down.
Your show, Wednesday night at Magooby's.
Yes,
Fucking home
Yeah,
run.
it was
Joe
it
so
worked
said.
out. I was happy with it.
Great
Dude.
crowd. Great people out
Thank you
there.
to everybody that came out. By the way, a lot of
Brittany
people in the
and
crowd
Ariel
tonight.
and Pam and
Yeah.
I guarantee you,
Kelsey and
everybody.
Jeff, thank you for the car ride home. I was
I
drunk,
I
wasn't
drove to
obnoxious.
Jeff's work and gave him a T-shirt the next
Hey,
day.
hell of a guy.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Wearing
I
a
did.
DLP T-shirt,
That's
which
right.
many of you, by the
People
way, wore. We love them in the two-piece. They stay on during sex.
Shoemake.
We're going to be wearing this shoe make my man. We got a great DLP family photo. Yeah, a lot of people bought these shirts, and we're going to be selling them quite a bit. Next week, Thursday, DC Improv. Saturday, we're going to be doing Winchester.
Yeah, May 9th and 11th.
DieLaughingProductions.com. They're going to be doing our The Answer's Murder.
Mhm.
We're going to get some other stuff on the book soon. We just heard from Ram's Head on stage in Annapolis. But yeah, the shirts sold like gangbusters. Show went great.
You
Yeah.
have to be happy with
Let's
it,
talk about
right?
the show.
Yeah.
Did you recorded it,
So
right?
let me ask
the
you
whole thing got
questions
recorded,
about
yeah,
it.
please.
So the beginning, what you did at the beginning, where you walked through the crowd and started
Yeah.
addressing, are you going to do that during the
Yeah, it's going
special?
to be in the special.
Okay, so that's it. Did you decide to do that after you did that there, or is that something you had planned on
No.
doing already?
I did that a few months ago at a show on a whim, and it worked out.
Yeah,
And
no,
then I
it's-
did another one with Eric at that show in Del Mar, Virginia, where I think he was texting you guys. He's like, Justin hasn't gotten on stage once yet.
Yeah, yeah.
He hasn't used the mic. And I was like, the crowd's basically vibe sized. If I get up here and start doing just written material, they're gonna be like, what are you doing? You sound like you're
Right.
reciting shit. Let me go around to everybody, interact. And then at some point, I have to get on
Sure.
stage and begin.
No, and that was great. And if you're going to do that, I haven't
Please
ever-
do it
I've
again.
never seen that in a special.
Right.
Yeah.
Never seen it. So that'll be something that's cool. Is there anything, because
Our videographer was there, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan's got the whole thing mapped out.
so I saw, and I'm like, these bits, what are you going to take out? They're all working,
Some are going to be massaged.
right?
Some are, I thought I was going to get a little bit more reaction. I chuckled in the car when I wrote it months ago when I think I referenced Eric and Tommy Bussy,
Uh-huh.
and I said the asshole is the vagina of the butt, and not a lot. And I was like, oh, I thought I was going to get a little bit more of a knee slap. But I mean, there's stuff that needs to be tightened up.
Maybe,
That's
but
funny.
it really,
Yeah.
if that was it, if what you did Wednesday was the special,
I heard a fucking laugh from you, and Ariel, this might be what you're referencing. I made a Life Goes On reference. I think that might have popped
Yeah.
just you,
Yes.
Yeah.
starring Corky.
yeah,
But no, there was a lot of it. I mean, a lot, but not all, was new. I mean, most of it.
I wasn't familiar.
Can I
with
say
it.
this?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is one bit I remember from the comedy doc about the little people.
Yes.
I remember
I
that.
brought that
And I remember
back to
you
tie it in.
trying to make that work, and it didn't
Never
quite
worked.
get where you wanted it to get, and then it did.
Yeah.
It worked. Now you added that new beginning to try to get into it, and then I think you didn't have that before.
No,
right?
I didn't.
So
No, this was a new. That was actually for the most part
Right.
true, slightly exaggerated stories. But yeah, that
the
way
segue
I got into
that got you there, that was a much more, I guess, natural. I don't remember it. I remember the joke at the
whole thing's recorded. Speaking of, by the way, as of tonight, FPX, we're going to do some stuff at FPX JSS. There's going to be a new uncensored. It's probably going to be a Halloween themed thing. So get your costumes ready. But it is most likely at this point looking to either be Wrecker Theater in Towson or Ramset on stage. I want to do Magoobys, and I love Magoobys. It's our home club. That gigantic sign behind me, I understand
what you're
visually
saying.
distracting.
Okay.
And I love Andrew, and I'd love to do it there. And we might talk about. I feel insulting even asking, like, can we curtain it? Can I cover your baby? Which
I'll bet
feel
you he would be
shitty
fine with that.
asking.
You could also make a joke about it off of the,
I think it's fine.
I might need to. I want to. Just remember, too soon for some things. Pam, what are you referring to? Too soon for some things. I'm not sure. Was it the reference to the bridge? I can't remember. I might have made a dolly.
I'll say this too.
The photos Katie took of Evan's jiu-jitsu.
No, by the way,
did you
they
hear
were
back from
cracking
them?
up, by the way, but she happened to get them when they were like giving like looks of disgust.
Looks of
She wanted to make you
No, I
feel
guarantee you
stressed about
heard from them, and I guarantee you they had a great time.
They said they had a great night out. They were joking, haha. When Evan comes to hang out, he has to hang out over at our house now. He's not allowed over there. Yes, the dolly comment. Okay, well, duly noted. Cutting the dolly comment.
We sat in my son's section.
Yeah,
my son waited on us, right? So I was kind of excited because it was the first time that I got a chance to, I mean, he was at work and I'm there and so forth.
That's right. He was working. He was seating people.
Yeah, and he was our
serving
waiter.
us.
And he was our server. And then my food didn't come.
Oh, shit. Leave him a shit tip.
And everybody now somebody else brings out the food, and now it's awkward. Because I don't want to be the guy to be like, where's my food? But I don't know if everybody's food comes out at the same time.
Dude, I busted into existence.
Yeah.
Where's my chicken Caesar wrap?
Like Daddy been putting on some pounds.
It was awkward, which she's right
you
about.
Don't need the fries.
But here's what happened. I waited, and everybody at our table finished their food.
And it was so good that night.
And it never came. And so I walked up to him and I go, hey, man,
do you know
this is kind of awkward.
You know what might have made it a little late? You guys don't know about this. So in the back, this is food related to Magoobys. So in the back, show's over, big adrenaline dump, and I'm in the back and I'm waiting to get paid. And Andrew, who I would walk in front of a car for, he can get distracted easy.
Oh yeah.
Andrew,
what are you talking about?
He can veer off, and he'll even tell you he's got a little bit of the ADHD going on. So I'm back there, and we're always having our pleasantries. I love talking to him, but it is a school night, and I need to get paid.
Yeah.
And a woman who we also love there, she's a manager, Sydney, comes in and goes, I want you to try this, and hands him this beautiful, brand new, handcrafted Greek feta strawberry sun-dried tomato burger. And these two start having like a fucking Food Network show.
And you're
I'm like, please fucking pay me.
I have to wake up in an hour.
And I'm dying. I'm having trouble staying awake. And they're having me take a bite of it. By the way, it was incredible. If this burger makes it to the menu, it's worth $50. But I'm wondering if they were in the back, like handcrafting, like putting the baby greens on with the tongs and positioning the strawberries. Meanwhile, your chicken tenders are under a heat lamp, just getting fried to fuck. But yeah, the night was great. Everybody came out. I appreciate the sentiments. I got a lot of nice noise about it. Nice comments in the social media.
It was a good time. It was a good DLP meetup as well.
Yeah, it was good seeing the entire DLP family there. Thank you for all the kind/weird words about last week's Patreon. I didn't mean for that to turn into a weird one-upsmanship or hey, that's how you do it. This is how I do it. Didn't want to get into that much.
No, it's all good. Ariel says so proud of you. Kelsey said it was great. Everyone's
thank you, love.
Sharon Bailey was there. Randolph was there. It was
great. It was awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better crowd. Yeah. It's recorded. It's ready to go, and it's at this point probably going to be still Thanksgiving weekend.
Fuck yeah.
To get the thing down. I'll be the first to tell you guys. I got a bunch of dates with Ryan Sickler. on the books.
Nice.
He's from the Honeydew podcast. He's from Maryland guy. He's also from the Wayback. He's going to be working a bunch of dates in accordance with the Ravens and their away game schedule.
Oh,
So he's reached out, and him and I are going to do some stuff on the East Coast. It's going to be Central Time, Eastern Time stuff. And tickets go on sale, I believe, tomorrow for Nick Mullins' Lincoln Theater show that I'm at with him. So the favors were cashed in, and the favors worked out.
man is
and
doing it.
We're going to fucking flesh this
doing
thing
it
out.
big time.
Hell
So
yeah.
you saw it last Wednesday. You saw about 60% of how I'd like it to go. And
But if you
it's
came
fun.
on Wednesday, come to the taping of the special.
Oh,
You know,
please.
Yes.
support what we
Please,
did.
please, and continue to support by following DLP Agenda on YouTube. Like, comment, share, follow us on TikTok, Instagram. If you're not a Patreon member yet, we implore you. New Dork Dynasty is going to be out before the end of the week, if not this weekend. Video game talk. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything.
Eric and Tommy are supposed to be recording a new what's it called? Story time. with
Story
Tommy
time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes. hell
Wednesday
yes.
night, so that should be good. You're with Umar on May 2nd. So
This
check that out,
Thursday,
too.
as we record this here on the last day of April, see me in 2 days. And depending on when you listen to this, if you still have time, again, next week, May 9th, DC Improv, May 11th, Winchester at the Bright Box. And next week, we'll talk to you again soon.
See ya.